What does Django static settings.static underscore URL document underscore root equals settings.static underscore root actually do? I am using Django 2.2 from the Django Managing Static Files documentation. If you use django.contrib.static files as explained above, RunServer will do this automatically when debug is set to true. If you don't have django.contrib.static files in installed _apps, you can still manually serve static files using the django.views.static.serve. This is not suitable for production use. For some common deployment strategies, see deploying static files. For example, if your static underscore URL is defined as /static/, you can do this by adding the following snippet to your urls.py. Note: this helper function works only in debug mode and only if the given prefix is local, for example /static/, and not a URL, for example this URL. Also, this helper function only serves the actual static underscore root folder. It doesn't perform static files discovery like django.contrib.static files. My interpretation: static is a helper function that serves files from the static underscore root during development. Is this true? Static only works when debug equals true. Static only works with a local prefix like static underscore URL equals /static/. When debug is set to true and I use and set up the static files app as explained in the documentation, if I do, Python manage.py run server to start the local server, the serving of static files will be handled automatically. True? My questions: what exactly does adding static settings.static underscore URL document underscore root equals settings.static underscore root to your project's urls.py do? Is it true that static serves static files locally from the static underscore root directory? To test this theory, after running collect static, I then deleted the static directories to see if the static files still load fine from the static underscore root, and they don't. Why? How can I verify that Django is loading the static files from my static underscore root location, and not the static directories in my project and apps? Why is adding static settings.static underscore URL document underscore root equals settings.static underscore root to L patterns necessary if Django serves static files automatically, mentioned in documentation? Example: settings.py. In all my templates, I'm using %load static %. Then I do Python manage.py collect static. At this point, it doesn't seem to matter if I have the below in my urls.py or not. My static files still load, but I don't know if they're coming from my project's static directories or my static underscore root c:/lkdsjfkljsd underscore cdn. Lastly, if I delete those static directories in my project, all CSS, JS and images don't work, which leads me to believe that my Django project is loading static files from my project's static directories, not the static underscore root. So, again, how can I tell Django to load the static files from my static underscore root location, and not the static directories in my project and apps? Or do I misunderstand that Django isn't supposed to load files from my static underscore root location locally? Edit, adding HTML image.
I think you are mixing up few things. Let me clarify. Static column. As per documentation, it provides URL pattern for serving static file. If you go to the implementation, then you will see. What it does is, it removes / from left of the prefix convert /static/ to static/, and then there is a view which is serve, who does the pulling files. Serve column. This function does the serving files. It will serve files from a document root. Run server column. Run server command runs the Django development server. If you have django.contrib.static files installed in installed_apps, then it will automatically serve static files. If you don't want to serve static, then use run server na static. Collect static or static_root has no relation to this command. Collect static. This command collects all static files from different static_drs and put them in folder which is defined by static_root. Collect static is very useful in production deployment when you are using a reverse proxy server like Nginx or Apache etc. Nginx/Apache/Varnish uses that folder where collect static store the static files as root and serve static from it. It is not recommended to use run server in production. You can use unicorn/wooski to serve Django. But unicorn/wooski does not serve static files, hence using reverse proxy server to serve static files. Finally, column. To answer your questions. No, you don't have to put that in your code unless you are not adding django.contrib.static files in your installed_apps. No. You don't need to. Static_root is used for different purpose. It is not. But for serving media files, you can add the following pattern. In production, media files should be served by reverse proxy server as well.